So, haven't made a video in like 6 months. A lot has changed. It's been a while, but there's not really a lot to unravel. I feel like I'm just due for an update video because it's been 6 months, kind of 6 months. But this video is kind of special because it marks the 1 year that I've been practicing trading. Within a year, I've made probably 4 or 5 videos. So my consistency is a little, I don't even know. I don't know. Not the best, but I mean, it's been a year. Well, it's been a year and like a month that a year ago today I decided to drop the marketing agency and pursue trading. Specifically, it was June 24th, so 2 weeks after my 22nd birthday. And yeah, so it's been a year, and within a year, so much has changed. So much has changed within not even a year, within the past, I don't even know, like 6 months, 8 months, so much has changed, trading wise and lifestyle wise. But it's crazy to say I've been doing it for a year, and that year has gone by so fast. There has not been a day that I have not looked at the charts. I have not skipped a day, even when the markets are closed. But it's wild because that year went by so fast. So I have a year of learning trading under my belt. Since July or June 24th is when I decided to drop the market agency and go towards trading. And it's crazy because on June 24th last year, I just texted my brother and was like, sent him a screenshot of me on TradingView and was like, I am learning this right now. It's day 2 or day 1, whatever, day 1, day 2. It was like June 23rd, June 24th. And I sent him that picture and he was like, trading's hard as hell, bro. And I was like, yeah, it's cool. I mean, I don't want to do the marketing agency anymore, and I've thought about it, and it feels like trading is for me. So, you know, I'll fall on my face for a while to learn it and give it a shot, see if I like it or not. But it's ever since, man. It's still as fun as it is when I first started a year later. So it's crazy. I don't even know where to start because there's been so much that I've learned. I don't think this should be too long of a video because for the past 6 months I've learned a lot, but I really want to try to focus on what I've learned rather than I don't know. I don't want to get too far off topic because the important part is that I've done this for a year. I need to document and explain like what I've learned, especially over the past 6 months, because last time that I left off was I lost $1,300. And so now we're in a completely different spot, literally and metaphorically. Like I moved, the background is different. It's pretty cool little spot, but I'm also just in a different spot of trading. So I don't even know how to break all this down. The past 6 months, I think the best way to start is that I've learned a lot in trading because for the past year all I've been doing is shoveling everything that I can, all kind of information, and to just grasp onto anything that will help me to learn trading. So I've just been taking on all kinds of information and over time just kind of like filtering out what it is that I feel like is not necessary or feel like doesn't click with me well. So I've just been trying to do the best I can and just allow myself to retain information and to implement it with the charts. So for 6 months I did demo, as I've been journaling on YouTube for 6 months, and I started live January 20th. Right now it is July 13th, so I'm like a month late on this video. It's not really a year, it's like a year and a month or so, almost a month. And I started live trading January 20th. At that time, 2 weeks in, I lost $1,300. So I'll pick up from there, I guess. I'll start from there. After that video, I don't know how to explain this, but my reasons for trading, or like my reasons for buying or selling, are still the same thing. So I think I explained last time that I trade off support resistance zones, and that's it. So like within a year of trading, I've come to know that trading is very difficult. It's very hard. You can't predict shit and there is no golden strategy, and I haven't done everything. I haven't tried every tool. I haven't tried every little thing, but I've tried a good amount of things that I feel like click with me and just kind of make sense at surface, but I haven't done everything. So once I figured out support resistance, I was like, you know what, I like this. This makes sense. It's pretty simple. I wouldn't say I use trend lines, but I do look at where highs and lows are. And I kind of just stick to that. I feel like that's just the thing that makes the most sense, because as you know, if you're watching this, you probably trade also. You also know trading is difficult and that you cannot predict where price is going to go. Over the year, I've learned that, and from my brother who's teaching me trading, I've learned that price either goes up or down, and you cannot predict what happens. Your trading analysis is not going to help you predict where it goes. I've really learned, and this has started to make sense over the past year, and really over the past like 3 months, 2 or 3 months, is that it's more so used to help structure your risk. And for a while, that didn't really make sense because, I don't know, at first picking it up, I was like, your trading analysis is going to help you make a decision on whether you think price is going to go up or down. Like it to some degree has a, it is important, and to a degree it has this like predictive edge. Helps you predict, but you can't really predict it because either way it's going to go whichever way it goes. But for the most part, it does help you make a decision, but I think most importantly, it does help you to structure things in a way that makes sense to you, and if it works out, great, and if it doesn't, it's also great. I would also like to sum up the last 6 months as very, I would say, frustrating, because there was a moment of time where I was like, all right, I'm not cut out for this shit, because it's very difficult. And this happened not too long ago. I have the date on May 23rd, right? So like 4 months after I made that video where I lost 1,300, I don't know, I just had a very rough time. So I think it's better to come out and say this part first, is that so based on the last video, I know that there's probably going to be somebody who is watching this and is like, see, I told you, I knew that this would happen. You're not invested with your own capital, because in the last video I explained that my brother Nick just gave me an account to trade on, which is a $14,000 account when I started to go live. He did that because he knew exactly how it would probably go, and it went exactly how he thought it would. So basically, in total, I know somebody, you can go in the comments and say like, see, I told you, like, I knew this would happen. You're a beginner, you're not invested with your own capital, blah, 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 whatever you say. I totally understand. It makes sense. My whole purpose here is to just be transparent with like how my journey is going. And it is embarrassing to say, but in total, since January 20th, and it is now July 13th, I have lost $22,000 trading. It's more like 16 because 6,000 of it was dedicated to commission, but still that's like losing money. You didn't make money, so you lost it. So it's 22K, but if we're not counting commissions, it's really like 16,000. And so hearing that number, you can tell 22,000 is a lot more than 14,000, which was the account that I was given. So technically I blew an account, right? That account got really low after the 14,000 I was given when I made the last video. It was at like 12,700, something like that. If I lost 1,300, 14,000 minus 1,300 is like 12,700. So that's what the account was at. And then after it got down to, I don't know, like 7, I think it was like 5 or 7,000, and I just kept losing. And then after that, he refilled the account up to like 19, so 5,000 more than what I started at with the account. And then I switched to a raw spreads account, was because I'm trying to really make sure that I can organize what I'm going to say in a way that is easy to digest and follow. But at first with that account, I was doing DCA, and there's 2 things that I learned with DCA is that, for one, you have to be okay with blowing the account, because with DCA, you will win a lot of the times, but there will also come a point where you will blow an account where price just goes so far against you, no matter how many times you add and draw down, because that's what you do with DCA. You'll come across something that will blow your account, and that happens. So for one, you have to be okay with blowing the account. So whatever your balance is in that account, you technically have to be okay with blowing it, which for me, I was like, this is $14,000. I'm not okay with blowing this. So I stopped doing the DCA approach. I think DCA is good because you get to learn when to enter at trades. It allows you to manage it in a very flexible way where you can be wrong a lot of times and still end up profiting or breaking even most of the time. But there will come a time where you blow an account, which happens, I guess. So that's why I slowly, after that video, stopped DCAing as the risk structure. I was still buying and selling at support resistance zones. So I technically, at the end of the day, still just buy or sell whether I think price is going to go up or down based off of support resistance zones. So I stopped doing the DCA, and what I started to do was place stop loss and take profits, because I don't want to blow the account. I want to hold on to it and preserve it for as long as possible. So at the time, I was learning what Nick also says, and I'm sure a lot of other people say with trading, is the name of the game is to make more than you lose, right? And let's remember that name of the game. The name of the game of trading is to make more on your winners than you lose on your losers. That's trading, and basically with that simple name of the game, that is kind of the formula for being profitable, especially long term. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to do DCA because I don't want to blow an account. So I started placing stop losses, take profits, buying at support, selling at resistance with like 1-to-1 risk reward ratios. I'm trying to explain everything that went wrong as to why I lost 22K, but I'm trying to think about it. And I feel like there was a lot of things that I didn't do right, of course, but for one, I don't even know how to explain all this in simple terms, but I think I was journaling, but what was going on is, I guess I just wasn't structuring risk in the right way, especially with like 1-to-1s, or I saw that wasn't working, and then I was like, okay, let me try to do like a 1-to-4 risk reward ratio. I was trying different things. So this is me shoveling everything, trying to experiment with a live account though. And I think that's where I went wrong, is experimenting on a live account. It sounds stupid, and I realized that today because I was pre-planning like what I would explain in this video, and I think that's one of the things that I did wrong. I was still demo trading when I was using this live account, but I wasn't practicing new ideas or new risk management on the demo account. I was experimenting on a live account. I think that's a big part as to why I lost as much as I did. There was many things. I was trying many different approaches of course, DCA, and I was really just trying to allow the system, or the system that I'm using, to take enough trades to where the system will kind of show the results over time, over a certain amount of trades. Then you can kind of see what your edge is, and you can see what works and what doesn't, and do more of what works and less of what doesn't, which is what I've been learning. But I've just been experimenting on a live account. I think that was the downfall. But 22K, that's how much I lost. But I mean, it's not like I was defeated on May 23rd. I was defeated, and I came across a point where I was like, dude, I suck at this. Like, I'm already down. I don't know how much I was down by, but I was down by a lot. And I was like, okay, I'm down. It was more than 10K. It was probably like 15K. And I was like, dude, I'm down this much. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. And I was thinking, I'm glad I didn't use my own capital from the money I had been saving from working 2 jobs. I'm still working 2 jobs. Nothing has changed within that year. But I also think where I went wrong was just having the expectation that this is something that I would just be good at from the get-go. And I guess I just kind of had an ego. I was like, I can do this. Like, it's totally fine. I don't think I'll struggle for as long as most people do, which is great confidence. But I got hit with reality of trading, and that's just what happened. And it caught up. So I was glad that I didn't use my own capital. Thankfully, I have somebody in my life, and I have this advantage where I can take the opportunity and to experiment. So sure, I lost 22K, but really it's a 22K lesson of, and it's a lot of stuff that I can still look back on. It's a lot of stuff that I learned, and I didn't even like use my own capital. And I know it sounds like, I know people are gonna say this is exactly what we saw coming. I know there was one guy that was chewing me up. He was like, you're not using your own capital? Go back to the drawing board. And I was like, you're probably right, bro. And he was right. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna beat myself up over it, and I've already done it enough. But I have learned a lot. So this past like 6 months that I haven't recorded a video, I've learned so much. Not even about trading, but mostly about trading. But again, life, just things like the environment that you put yourself in, and really just structuring your life around what it is that you want to do. And that is exactly what I'm doing for the past 6 months. I've just been altering my life around how can I make my life and optimize it in a way where I can make trading easier. I can make my life easier. I can really make it easy to just focus as much as possible. And I feel like I've done a really good job at doing that. And thankfully, you know, like I have help of trading. And so it's great. I've learned a lot. And it's funny, the way that I think about trading is like, remember, the name of the game is to make more on your winners than you lose on your losers. I don't know why I do this, but it's probably because it helps me to retain information, and to think about things in a way that makes sense to me. But I think of trading as boxing. And how is the name of the game of trading, again, is make more on your winners than you lose on your losers. Boxing is kind of like the same thing. The name of the game is to hit without getting hit. And it's really helped me to just kind of digest these principles that you have to learn in trading. And trading's already super difficult. You want to make things simpler rather than complicate them even more. And that's one thing that I've kind of understood before going into trading, but that was something, I mean, it was good because that kind of is how trading works. It's very complicated, but the best thing to do is to make it very simple and to not make it more difficult than it has to be. And that's why I like support resistance. I don't even know how to explain it further than that. It's just, I try to just simplify it. And boxing is kind of the same thing. Hit without getting hit. And, you know, it's hard. Like, when you think about it as the name of the game, it sounds very simple, but it's pretty complicated because of all the nuance and all the little things that happen within trading. Somebody could buy and you sell, and one person could be right or wrong, and there's just so many different things, and there's so many things that you can look at that will influence your decision on why you did what you did on the charts. But I don't know, my brain's weird, dude. I just think about it as like a boxing kind of thing. Get the reps in, demo trading is like sparring and boxing. You know, you kind of figure out what you're good at, what you're not, what you like, what your habits are. I don't want to make trading sound like it's this deep psychological, spiritual thing, but it's funny how there's a lot of things that you can learn in trading that you can learn in other things also, and it's just kind of like the game of life. I don't know, like I look at things deeper than they probably should be, but it helps me to understand principles and be like, I've seen myself do this before, let me not do this thing again, and to keep myself structured mentally and to not be upset. Because on May 23rd, I just had a rough, that month, dude, I was just getting beat up. Not in boxing, but in trading. I even texted Nick, I was like, dude, I think I should just go back to demo because look at the account and see how much I'm down by. And I don't know, it really discouraged me on what I was doing and if I was even picking the right route in life. But I have no plan B. This is plan A. This is all I have. Like, I'm going to make trading work. Whether I'm like 40 years old and I'm still not profitable, or whether it's like a year from now, you know, 2 years into the game of learning trading. So I don't know. I think about it a lot. So I'm still demo trading Forex, but I picked up another thing. And if you follow Nick, you probably understand it, or you probably already know that he's trading futures. And I've started trading futures also. So I practice both. I'm demo trading futures because it's on a platform with a prop firm. Forex, I'm still trading on MetaTrader, and I'm still just practicing journaling, and I am still on the markets every single day looking and learning and looking from past mistakes. So futures is fun. Futures is very fun. I actually think that a lot of things are simpler on futures. A lot of support resistance zones are respected. Maybe if you trade futures, you probably know, like, maybe your trend lines are a lot more respected than on Forex, or maybe the Fibonacci tool is respected more. I don't know. I don't use Fibonacci, so I really don't know how that works. But I just trade support resistance, and that is it. I try to keep it simple. But futures is very fun. I've had a pretty good day, or a pretty good week. I've only been doing it for a week, futures. I have my own Discord server where it's just me. I don't do the paid thing, but anyway, I just journal in my own Discord server by myself, and I just journal, place trades, take a screenshot before, place a screenshot after, see what happened, learn from it, just like Forex. And I do the same thing. Forex is, I don't know, it's at a weird spot. If you're trading too and you're trading Forex, you probably know markets are kind of crazy. Futures is pretty cool though. I actually enjoy it. I still enjoy trading in general. I'm still passionate about it. Like, I just learned it yesterday. So, but that is, I don't know, that's pretty much how to sum up the last 6 months. I moved, I'm in a new spot. I've lost 22K. I've learned valuable lessons of $22,000 worth. So it's not really a loss at the end of the day. In the moment, I just wanted to fall off the face of the earth because I just thought I was a failure and that I would never get trading. And for a moment, like, I was pretty frustrated, and I was like, dude, this is insane. Like, my stop, like, they were hunting my stop loss, but it's just because, I don't know, I got too in my head, and you get frustrated too in your emotions, and you're just like, dude, this is insane. And I was there. Now it's not really that feeling. It's probably because I'm on demo now. But with futures, I don't really have that feeling because it's the prop firm and you want to pass the challenge. But I'm still like, well, that trade lost. Oh, that trade won. Okay, cool. And I place another one and like, oh, this trade won. Cool. Oh, this trade lost. Okay, cool. Well, I'm down 500 for the day. Or like, cool, I'm up 900 for the day. Or like, cool, I'm up 800 for the day. And then, dang, I lost 1,000 for the day. And it's just this fluctuating, like, I don't know. I'm getting used to that. But that's I don't know. That's kind of the way to explain everything that has happened in 6 months. I'm still loving it. Trading's fun. Tried not to make it a long video and go on a rant about literally every detail. But yeah, I feel like I've already covered everything, so I think I'll just go ahead and wrap it up. So leave a comment Let me know your ideas, where you're at, how long you've been trading for, your biggest lesson on what you've learned, opinion about futures, opinion about Forex right now. But it'd be cool. So that's all that's been going on. So I feel bad because I don't really make a whole lot of videos yet about the charts, and it's because I'm not profitable yet. And I feel like once I feel like I'm at a point where I'm somewhat profitable or somewhat get there, I'll probably start making videos of like my decisions on the charts. And I guess that kind of, well, I'll explain that real quick. I think that's like the last thing that I probably learned is with expectations and goals. At first, my expectation was I'll be good at this from the get-go, and that bit me in the ass. And now I've kind of had the expectation, like, you know what, I'm comfortable where I'm at. Of course, I still want to move forward in life, but I think I'm in a good spot. I have tried I don't know what the word is. I've just really been trying to kill the urge to make things happen quickly, because that's a thing I've noticed that leads to the downfall, where I start making irrational decisions, where I try to make everything happen quickly because of these expectations, and that kills me in the end, and I just act out of character. I've also come to terms with, like, this might sound crazy, and I want to know what other people think, but I want to continue to progress in life. I want to continue to get better, but I do not necessarily have goals. For example, the goal is to become profitable, but I'm not going to put a time limit on it and say I have to do it within 6 months, or I have to do it within 3 months, or next year I have to be profitable, because I feel like it creates this unnecessary pressure on yourself to perform, and when you do that, you actually perform worse, because you're putting unnecessary pressure and stress on yourself that just doesn't need to be in there in the first place, and in fact you're hurting yourself. So I feel like when I say that, it sounds like, oh, this guy's a bum, but I don't have goals, but I still want to continue to move forward, and what I'll continue to do is just do the best that I can. And that's kind of how I'm approaching trading with like Forex and futures. I'm just trying the best that I can. I'm taking in information, I'm processing it, I'm experimenting with it, I'm trying new things, I'm still journaling, you know, I'm just doing the best that I can. So I don't really have goals, like, for example, grow my account from 10K to 20K, or of course I want to finish this prop firm challenge, but I'm not going to make it this thing where if I don't achieve it, I'm useless, and if I do, I'm the man of the world. It's kind of like, when I get there, I'll get there. When I figure it out, I'll figure it out. And I'll leave on this note, saying that just reminded me of this story that I remember back when I did this summer internship of selling educational systems door to door. I was shadowing one of the leaders who had been doing it for like 6 years. This was my first time. And so this guy had a lot of information, and again, I was selling educational systems door to door. It was exhausting. But I remember what I had been trying to work on was being more assertive, because I was not an assertive person. And so we were talking about it, and he was trying to help me to become more of an assertive person. And I was like, dude, how do I become more assertive? And he's like, just practice this, do this at every door. Tell yourself you're becoming more assertive, you know, practicing self-talk and doing all these things. This correlates to trading, but he was like, just do all these things and you will become more of an assertive person if you persistently strive towards it. And I was like, well, how long will it take until I become an assertive person? And he just looked at me and he was like, does it matter how long it takes? And I looked at him, I was like, this guy's right. Like, why does it matter how long it takes? Why am I putting the time limit on it of when I have to be an assertive person? Why does it have to be next week? Why does it have to be next month? Why am I expecting it to happen tomorrow? And then, you know, you start putting pressure on yourself to become more of an assertive person, and that's not helping you move forward, and in fact, it's hurting you. So I feel like the same thing happens with trading. It's like, profitability is the land of gold that you want to get to, and you want it to happen fast. People want it to happen, but it stopped recording in the middle of it. But basically, you want it to happen very quickly, and doing that hurts you. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. As long as you get there and you try your best to get there, that's all that matters. So it stopped recording because I don't have enough storage. So I will go ahead and end the video there. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Hopefully this was somewhat helpful and gave you a little bit more insight on a year of trading. I think trading is awesome. I'll continue to do it. It's my plan A. And yeah, man, so hopefully it was helpful. I'm trying to brainstorm ways how to become more valuable and to give information that's valuable. And I'm trying to do so by just showing behind the curtain things of like my experience with trading, especially for a year. Maybe it would be helpful to show the terminal. Let me know if y'all want to see that. Trades that I take, even if I'm not profitable, maybe y'all want to see that too. You know, actually that wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe that would be a good video and y'all can see, and we can kind of, I don't know, look in the comments and somebody would be like, well, I think this could happen, or like, you know, maybe this would work, and kind of like a way to just show y'all exactly what trades I take and how I structure them, so you can really see what I'm doing on the charts instead of me just explaining what I'm doing on the charts. Maybe that'll make more sense. So I might actually do a video like that. I think that'd be a good idea. But other than that, man, I appreciate you watching. Just gonna continue doing the best I can, continue trading, watch it every day, and update. I'm still working 2 jobs. I did move. I already probably explained that, but thank you, and hope y'all have a great day. Deuces.